soul connection energy insight reading just to see where you stand with another person. So whether you want to call it a twin flame, a life partner, a soulmate, whomever you, label this person or resonate this reading may be for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and tune into both you and the other party's energies. As you can see, I will be using 2 separate Romance Angel Oracle decks, just, because it gives us more space, just in case the same cards want to come out for a reason. So that's why I do it. Yeah, keep in mind it's not a personal reading, you guys. So if it doesn't resonate with you, don't try to make it resonate with you. Don't take it personal if it doesn't resonate. I find that when a lot of people say it doesn't resonate or they complain about the reading, it's because they were triggered by it. So, I've kind of learned that already. That's how people operate. It's not the fact that it didn't resonate or that it was stupid, because you wouldn't feel called to tell somebody it was wrong or it doesn't resonate with you. I just feel like the message triggered you. Because a lot of times if a reading really doesn't resonate with me, this is just how I operate. I just turn off the reading. That if I'm watching a reading at any time and it doesn't resonate with me from someone, I never take it personal. I'm just like, okay, this message just wasn't for me, or this month I don't resonate with him or her, so, it is what it is. But when you feel called to tell someone that the reading is negative, or it doesn't resonate, or you're wrong, or whatever the case may be, it's because you're triggered. Anywho, let's go ahead and clear. I just had to clear that up. Yeah. You wouldn't feel so compelled to tell someone that something just doesn't resonate with you. If it doesn't, you move on. What was your purpose of telling someone that? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't resonate. Oh, it's stupid. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. So negative. Ridiculous. It's simply not a personal reading. I mean, if you want your own personal reading, you can get one. It's not personal. It's picking up multiple energies from multiple people. Whoever spirit is trying to reach, they're going to reach them. Not everybody's going to want to hear the message that they're getting. So overall energy, this is your energy. You have religious factors. Your love life is being influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path, with the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. You're refusing to detach from a cycle. This could be a part of your spiritual journey. There's something that you're unwilling actually to detach yourself from. Because when you look here in reverse, she's comfortable and she's allowing this man to cut her hair. So it's like she's open and allowing someone to be removed. It could be you're open. Some of you are not going to like this, but some of you are open or not open to letting this person be removed out of your life. You're not trusting spirit with religious factors or your spiritual path, really. You're not allowing and you're not trusting spirit and surrendering to what spirit's trying to do, which I feel like it's to cut cords with this connection. You're not open to it. You're still in this stuck space. And when we see the 9 of Pentacles, it's usually a woman in her garden, right? There's this unwilling to disconnect because some of you fear being alone, or if I let this one thing go, that I will never have anything better. I will never experience anything as good as this ever again. If it was even good for some of you. But it's like, I'll never experience this spiritual connection ever again. So there's this unwillingness to surrender and disconnect from it. Because the 9 of Pentacles to me usually is the single woman, the independent woman, or it could be single man as well. But I feel like this is that fear of, if I can disconnect with this, there's nothing ever going to be better than this or this person. Another thing that I'm getting with that is some of you are doing this because you're not wanting to focus on what needs to be healed for the time being, whatever spirit is trying to show you. Yeah, the challenge is really if this was true love or not. You're really conflicted by this. Some of you are worried about this. Some of you don't want to disconnect from a partner or whoever this person is simply because you're afraid that they're going to leave you for somebody else, or that you're letting someone else have them. Because some of, these connections, they involve third party romantic situations, love triangles as we call them. And I feel like you don't want to give that up. Some of you have been doing love spells, and this woman, I feel like she's crying because it's not working. Her love spells, her affirmations have not been working. She's been doing some sort of sex magic or some sort of spell with this phallus symbol. So some of you have been trying to attract this man. If it's not a specific person you've been trying to attract, you may have been trying to do love spells to get someone else to come in, and it's not working. And I can tell you, for some of you, it's because you're not cutting the cords on a relationship that does not serve you anymore. Whether it be this connection, and I feel like it is for majority of you, it could also be exes from your past. Even though that card didn't come out, some of you are unwilling to let that go energetically, or you're not aware that it's what's blocking you. There's a mirror behind her. So for some of you guys don't want to see the truth of the situation. You don't want to look at your truth. You don't want to see maybe how you're holding your own self back. You can't cry over this situation because you know better. And I feel like it's hard because it's like, I will never find anything better than this. Like the card says, this is a romance of a lifetime, and that's how you feel. This is what you believe, and this is your biggest challenge. Spirit's telling you to place your focus on what you desire and what you want, because right now, as the attraction card, you're not focused on what's of your highest good. You're not focused on your healing. This woman is attending to her garden or focusing on the things around her and the blessings around her. It's gratitude, and this is a space where you're going to attract love by focusing on your well-being and your healing, because healing is being rejected with the star card in reverse. It's not being focused on. It's more so you're focusing on this person, and you're not putting any of your energy really towards yourself. And that's for a small few of you. For others of you, it could be that you're not focused on what you need to heal within this situation. You could be, oblivious, or you could be actively putting yourself in a space of denial because you don't want to focus on something. For some of you, where Spirit is wanting you to place your focus, I feel like this past life, some of you can recall your past lives with this person. I feel like that's where you need to really look at something. There's a revelation within it because you have the Judgment card in reverse. You're not listening to something. There's something you're not picking up from Spirit. It's a message or some sort of answer or epiphany that you're just not getting. And the Judgment card is also ruled by Scorpio, and this is things coming to the surface. So there's something that Spirit is trying to show you or been revealing to you, like you need to deal with this. You need to deal with it before you can move on to the next phase of your life or your love life. You can't move on until you address this. And it's something to do either with a past life connection that you can recall, or it has something to do with that's happened to you in the past in relations to love or this specific connection. And it's something that's being reminded time and time again, and you're not listening. You're not seeing it. The outcome you have is trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith with the Knight of Swords. Okay? Oh my goodness. I'm just seeing with this, because you have the Trust card, and both of them looks to have these weapons in their hand or something. I don't know if he's holding like a sword or looks kind of like a wand or something. And he has a whip in his hand. I'm getting that give me a second, guys, because this is pretty complex to explain. I'm seeing it, but I'm trying to pick it up. Some of you guys have put your trust into the situation or this person to the point where you've ignored your guidance. I feel like some of you are not getting the messages about this person. There's something about them. I'm not getting necessarily that they're an overall, generally, they're a bad person, but in this situation, they're not good for you. And you're ignoring this. I feel like you have elders or people that may have been telling you about this person or trying to tell you they're trying to see if you're going to get the lesson, because it's kind of like this person will get you where they want you. And that could be through communication, because you have the Knight of Swords. So this person is going to put you back into a state of submission again, to where it's like you lose your power with this person. Every time you trust this person or give them your energy in some way, you're allowing them to dominate you or take you out of your power that you've had. And it's like they kind of put you back to square one, or they take you down a notch from where you just progressed. I feel like this is giving people the benefit of the doubt too much. You give this person the benefit of the doubt a lot. With the Nine of Wands, it's like there's this strong energy. You can't pull away from it. It's not going to be easy for you to pull away from this energy, and that I feel like this is the last challenge for you. This is the last step. This is why the Judgment card is coming up, but it's in reverse because there's something that's not being listened to. But this is the final call. This is the final review of this situation, and you have a judgment call to make. In the conclusion, you guys are getting beat down. And this connection is so hard and so pulling that you've put so much energy into it. You've put so much and you've invested so much. So that's your conclusion of your energy and where you currently are within this situation. I'm going to look at their energy now. And at the end, I'm going to pull a fortune card just to see, what to expect. What is to come of all of this. But I feel like, the base of this energy is just you kind of submitting to this whole situation or to this person. Yep, okay. See, this is what Spirit is telling you, and I hate to, because people get mad at me, and I can't lie, and it's not going to resonate with everybody, but I can't just, kind of brush whatever is under the rug. Spirit gives me these certain type of messages for a reason. I guess I'm not the reader to tell you, oh, you're coming into union with this person and they're going to reach out to you and give you a token of love or whatever. I'm not the messenger for that, I guess. So, some people might be mad at me, but whoever resonates will understand, I hope, that it's just the message that Spirit's trying to put out there. Okay. Overall energy is this person is pretty much stuck too. They don't really know where to go with the situation. They have to free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life with the Four of Cups. They're unhappy. They're needing to detach from some relationships. And I feel like for some of you, you've taught or you give this person inspiration because maybe you've revealed to them there's some toxic situations in their life. In some cases, maybe their family or their friends are not good for them. Maybe they are in a relationship with somebody else, and they're starting to see that they're not happy, and you may be the one to encourage them to break this tie with this person for some of you. And they're more focused on freeing themselves, and also in this situation, they're stuck. They don't really know what to do. I feel like you give them inspiration to go after their dreams of what they're wanting in life because they might feel like they were never capable of having it or getting it. So right now, I feel like you are. It's like she's telling this man, look over here. You can cut cords with this. You're not stuck. You can let this go. I feel like you've been somehow influencing them. If you're actively speaking to this person or actively in their life, then, if not, it's energy they're picking up from you. Some sort of take the lead or teacher dynamic, student-teacher dynamic. Their biggest challenge is letting go. They're having a hard time with cutting cords. They have the Seven of Swords. So they are in a state of denial that they're unhappy in a relationship with somebody. There is love here. If it is you, there is I feel like there is an acknowledgement of the connection. This person definitely acknowledges the connection. And it may be something that really they struggle with to really understand or to figure out. they're having a hard time with figuring this thing out. With the Seven of Swords, they're very conflicted. They're hiding their sorrows and their sadness from a partner or from people that they love. And maybe you may not even really be able to validate their sadness or their discomfort in a situation. Discontentment even. I'm getting, they are getting guidance to release a connection, whether it's with you or with someone else. But I feel like it's multiple connections. They have the right of way with the sword laying on the bed. He has the go ahead to cut cords. He or she, they have the ability to cut cords. And they're kind of conflicted by this. This is their challenge. As far as the suggested approach for them, I feel like what Spirit is saying, they need to keep an open mind with the Knight of Wands. Because I feel like the connection with you triggers them to... I feel like the connection with you kind of triggers them to look outside of what a connection should be or their type is. Because the card says your usual... your soulmate may differ from your usual type. And when I shuffled, I got the Nine of Wands in reverse. And you had this at the bottom of your spread when I shuffled. Now it's in reverse. This person is denying the connection with you, or they're denying their attraction towards you. Or if it's not denial, it's an uncomfortable connection for them because it's not what they're used to. So they can be kind of trying to swallow it. And the reason why this is happening, I feel like Spirit is trying to get them to break open, because whoever it is that they're meant to be with is not going to be their usual type, and they're going to have to learn this, and it's going to be kind of difficult for them. It's going to be a little bit challenging for them to accept this. And it's not because they're not attracted to this person or they don't you know, like them. I feel like there's a like. Obviously, this person wouldn't be conflicted by this connection if they didn't have any feelings for you, or if they did not have some sort of like for you or some sort of attraction, you know. So it's not that unrequited love type of situation where somebody just doesn't like you or just isn't interested. It's not that. It's this person is uncomfortable for some reason, and it could be the connection itself is weird to them. It's not normal. Or, you know, I'm black, you're white. Or I'm a Christian, you're a Muslim. Or whatever the case may be. You know, I'm in the closet gay or whatever, and you're out, and what would that mean to my family if I bring home another man or whatever? It's something that's taboo or something that they would consider different that they're struggling with. It's not so much that they're not interested. They are. There is feelings there. But I feel like Spirit is trying to teach them that they need to open up, because their soulmate is not going to resonate with these people they've been with. That's why I'm going to just say some of them cannot get it up, or some of them can't lubricate themselves with their partners that they're with, or it's just because these people don't resonate. And if it's not a sexual thing, then it's their friends. They just can't really kick it anymore with the same people that they used to. They just don't feel like they belong anymore. They feel isolated, and they're doing a good job of masquerading that. Okay? So their focus is flirt, extend your lighthearted energy to others with the Ten of Swords. And you had the Ten of Swords also, and you also had the Judgment card in reverse. They have the Ten of Swords in reverse now. And you have the Ten of Swords upright. I feel like this person, the reason why I feel like they're not open to whatever it is that you're calling out, and it could be that focus, this focus of Spirit is telling them to look at maybe how in ways, I feel like in ways that they're not being open to you. And I feel like that's why a lot of your affirmations and things are not working. This person, their intentions are not clear. And that's why you're confused. It's like you feel like I'm praying. I'm making sure my affirmations are right. I'm doing these spells right. Whatever the case may be. I'm trying to attract love, and it's just not working. They're not leaving this partner. And I would just, like, as a warning, I wouldn't do these. I wouldn't do love spells. I would only do love spells if it's a free intention and it's not based upon attracting a specific person. Those type of spells, you better be careful with those because they backfire on you tenfold. Sometimes they work, but in the manner that they work, you won't be happy with the results. I know a few people that said don't do that. I tried to do that way back in the day when I first learned about law of attraction, like 2012. I tried to do that, and it backfired on me, so I'll never do it again. In some cases, it didn't work. So just be more of open with your spells and magic or whatever. If you're going to do something, try to attract someone that you don't know completely at all and be open to what spirit brings to you if that's what you're trying to do. Some of you maybe already have tried this. I feel like the blockage with this person and that intention is actively because their energy is imbalance. It's like they're showing you or they're giving you some sort of indication they're attracted to you or they're open to you, but then the next minute their energy is like, get away from me or something. It's not normal. It's like a person that pulls your hair on the playground and then smiles at you later in class or blushes when you talk. That's the type of energy I'm getting. It's not that bully that really doesn't like you and really doesn't want you. It's like, you know when a man or a woman doesn't want you because they tell you and they don't want nothing to do with you. They're not giving you the time of day. They're not flirting with you. They're not, blushing around you or anything. They really don't like you or they really just don't want nothing to do with you. You know better. But if it's somebody that tells you that, it's like someone that tells you, I love you, you're the only one for me, and then the next minute they're like, I can't do this, I don't want to be with you, and then they're back again. That's the type of energy I'm getting, and that's kind of conflicting with your intentions or what you're trying to manifest. Okay, they need to focus on this for some reason because it's like showing them how they're not clear in their intentions. Okay, the conclusion for them is retreat with the Judgment card. This person is getting some sort of message as well that they're not listening to, and they're not taking the time to reflect on what they want and love. It's like Spirit is bringing up skeletons in the past, or maybe their past relationships, their current relationships, this connection, because it's like they need to review these connections to figure out if it's really what they're wanting, or do they even know what they want in love? What type of commitment are they looking for? And if any of these fit, they need to do a judgment call. They need to do a review. The King of Wands is at the bottom with very soon. They're going to take some sort of action very soon when it comes to love. They're going to choose something or somebody because these two people are embracing each other. And they're both nude, which is vulnerability and openness. So I feel like this person may step up and take some sort of action and make a decision. They will very soon. Okay, so I'm going to pull a fortune card just to see what the advice is. All right, fortune card just to see. Because I want to know. The Talisman, you are destined to succeed. And the Mystic Circle, your abilities will be enhanced. So a lot of you, no matter what the outcome may be for you in this situation, whether it turns out that this is the one or they're not the one, there's going to be a successful outcome. You're being guided and you're being led to a successful outcome. And it says you're destined to succeed. So whatever this cycle was, this karmic lesson or whatever you had to learn, and whatever the end result is, you were always destined to win in the end regardless. With the Mystic Circle, your abilities will be enhanced. You will come out of this wiser. You'll have so much that you've learned and acquired. You're a better person. You know more about yourself, more about spirit, the universe, love, what you want in a partnership. You will come out with so much wisdom and so much knowledge. And some of you maybe even when you move on and move forward, you'll be able to teach others about this situation or love within it, or something about your journey is going to inspire others. And I feel like that's what some of this is about for all of you. It's not always going to be about the other person. And it maybe for some of you, you do end up with that person. Some of you, it's not going to be that way, and that's fine. You're going to get to a point where you're open, because it's really about trusting that you're going to be good regardless, and you're going to be happy regardless. And you have something waiting for you regardless. That is a blessing. That is a gift from the universe. A job well done even. You know, it's more than just spiritual gifts. I feel like you're going to get a reward. And that's the whole point. I feel like we keep going on this journey because we know that there's something waiting for us. You know, we might not know what, and it's best not to know, and it's best not to expect something specific. That way we can be surprised when it comes, and we don't have to stick to a certain outcome. Okay? Yeah, so a lot of you may or may not resonate with this. This is a general reading. It's not personal, so not everybody's going to take this as a, you know, as a message for them, and that's fine. It's not meant to reach everybody. But yeah, just whatever you resonate with, it's for you. If it doesn't, it just isn't. So, yeah, I say these messages with love. I give them out with love, and you know, it's not to be like, oh, you got to leave this person so you can be alone and by yourself. And it's not that. I'm like that friend, that homegirl that will tell you that somebody is not good for you and you deserve better, because that's really what I mean. That, and these connections are spiritual. They're a little more complex than just saying, girl, you need to leave him, or homie, what you doing? Like, why are you messing with her? It's more than that. It's deeper. I understand, because I have connections with people that it's hard to break with these people. Friends even, too. It's not just romantic connections. It's friendships, too. I guess here I go on my rant. I don't know what Spirit's trying to say, but whatever. We'll see. But yeah, it's not an easy thing. And I have friends that I had to tell them that their dudes aren't shit. And it's easier said than done, because when you're on the other end, and I had friends back in the day that used to tell me that certain people I was dating was nothing, and I could not leave them for the life of me, even if I wanted to. And that's usually because the karma has not been learned yet. The lesson hasn't been learned. So I never push a friend to get over it, but I just give it to them how it is. And now that I do readings and things like that, I can get a little more deeper into as to why it's not healthy for you, and what you need to look at, and what's going on with this person. Why are they doing what they're doing? And a lot of times it's because we're going through spiritual lessons. The both of us are going through karmic lessons, and we're trying to work them out within each other. And a lot of times Spirit uses two people as catalysts for each other to learn those lessons. And when they're learned, it's like, okay, we're free, we're done. But you can't force yourself, because it's kind of like, yeah, your human mind is like, I know I shouldn't be doing this. I don't want to deal with this person. Why am I stuck on this person? And then there's another part of you that's like, I have to keep going. I have to keep putting my energy here. I just got to know. I just got to see, or I'm still dealing with this person. They won't leave me alone. It's usually because there's a karmic lesson. Regardless if it's a romantic soul connection, or just a friend, a family member, an enemy, as you want to call it, whoever, there's something there. And it's like, until it's learned and it's done, then you can move on with your life. In some cases, some couples do work out the karma together, but they both actively have to want to be together and work together. A lot of people are running after a man or a woman that just doesn't have any intentions on working on themselves. They might want to. Yeah, I can pull cards and see what he or she is feeling, and it could come up saying yeah, she does care about you. Yeah, he does care about you. Yeah, they want to be with you, and but what their actions are doing is going to be different. And they have to be totally whole within themselves to say, okay, this is what I want or what I don't want. So why is a lot of people are getting mixed signals. Some of you are not getting mixed signals. Some of you do get a straight up leave me the fuck alone type of message, and that hurts even more. But I'd rather have somebody tell me to leave them alone and not string me along. But some people unfortunately are dealing with connections where people are still messaging them and flirting with them and let me see you, I want to see you, and call you when they're in and out of your life. Then the next they're telling you to leave them alone, or they're spreading rumors about you because they're afraid. But yeah, there's a difference with these connections, and none of them are right or wrong, but it's just a difference. You know the difference between when you're being strung along or when someone just really does not want you. And it's sad because some lessons you have to learn through unrequited love too. I've been there, done that. Okay? I've been in unrequited situations where someone really was just like freaking horrible to me and I would not leave them alone. Sometimes we have to learn lessons through that. So no judgment there. Being in love with someone who has a husband or a wife or has a boyfriend or girlfriend. Been there, done that. I never messed with one knowing, like I never slept with one knowing that they had somebody else. So I can't really relate on that level. But if it happens, I understand why people get into that. Because there's lessons, there's karma. Of course, it's hard. Whatever the reason is that we go through it, it's for a specific reason. I understand that. So there's no judgment if someone is messing with a married man and they can't stop messing with them. Or someone has a girlfriend or whatever and you just can't stop talking to them. You can't leave them alone. Or maybe even for someone to sleep with them. Like I said, I've never been in that position knowingly that they had somebody and slept with them or whatever. I've been lied before. I've been lied to by people pretending that they were single and they were not. Of course. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that's been through that. But, yeah. It's all a lesson. And we just have to take it as is. And no expectations is the biggest lesson of this. Like, one of the biggest. The surrender and the non-attachment or expectations, the biggest part of it that I still struggle with. Releasing the expectation of something. You have to. You know, yeah, I can feel this and I can feel that. But at the end of the day, I can't expect a specific thing. And trying to deny the fact that you feel what you feel for someone is not going to make it go away, is what I learned. You might as well just say, yeah, you know what, I care about this person, I love this person, and I may even want to be with them or whatever the case may be, but I'm open, and I'm at a place where I am open to whatever spirit has for me. I'm not set on one person anymore like I used to. I'm not set that it has to be him. I can't. It's just, it keeps you limited and it keeps you stuck even more. But when you're open to whatever this connection brings you, what you're learning out of it, the beauty that you've taken from it, the unconditional love that is maybe even taught you how to love deeper, and whoever, if a new person, I believe a lot of you, it's going to be somebody totally different. It's not going to be this person for a majority of you. And that's I feel like that's the hardest pill to swallow, that it's not going to be them. And because it's a tough pill to swallow is because I feel like our guides kind of made us believe it. And like, it goes back to what I said, and you guys can say what did you want to say. Oh, God is a liar then, and all that stupid shit. No, God isn't a liar. There is energies out there that do tell you things. There's actively trickster spirits that do it just to mess with you, because there's all types of different energies in the universe. You just have to be careful what you converse with. Some of them are evil. Some of them just don't give a damn. They just play games. And there's spirits that actively love you and guide you and want the best for you. And some of them have their own intentions. And there's some that are kind of like your parents. They have to tell you certain things, because if they told you what the real was, be honest, you would not follow through with the lesson if you knew how it was going to turn out from that point where you were. At the point where you first fell in love with that person, you first felt that connection, you would have never went forward if you knew that it wasn't going to be them in the end. It'd be like, well, what the fuck am I doing this for? It's a waste of time. But now that you look at it, even if it's not this person, even at this point we're at, we still don't even know. That's the funny thing. We still don't even know. But even at this point where you're looking at it, some of you might be saying, if it's not them, I'm fine with that. But in the beginning, would you have said that? No. But you know where you're at, the lessons you had to learn, and how much you've grown and what you've learned, that you're at this point where you can say, I surrender, or I lose expectations. That takes a lot. So to say God is a liar, no, God isn't a liar. But sometimes they do have to play mommy and daddy and tell you Santa Claus exists so that you would believe. You got to get to a certain point in your journey where you lose expectations. And that's some of the lesson I feel too, is our need to know everything, our need to control everything has to subside too. Especially when it comes to love, because we easily get into a situation where, oh, I feel something, this must be the one, or this must be a romantic partnership, or I'm going to marry them, and you start projecting fast into the future before you even get to know who the person is. And then when that person shows you maybe that they're not the right person for you, you kind of fall on your ass, because it's like, well, he's such an asshole. Oh, she's such a bitch, or excuse my language, but oh, they're such a fuckboy, or whatever, or she just used me, or whatever. It's because you built an expectation around that person before you really got to know them. You didn't leave it open to see what they were going to show you. These are hard lessons to learn. I'm talking as a Taurus that has to have stuff like this, like straight up, I need to know, give me the real right away. I need to know that I'm safe in this. It's a hard lesson for me to lose my expectations and to just surrender and just trust and not project into the future. Like, oh, would he be nice as a husband? It's like, it's hard to do that. But I feel like that's one of the lessons that these type of connections will teach you, to release your expectations to an outcome or to what this person means in your life. It's okay to try to explore the connection and see, the lesson, or to see the past live energy, whatever you feel like is going to help you get clarity, of course. But we can't look up everybody's birth time and be like, oh, this is my soulmate, because look at our charts and all this. Like, and to top it off, we have so many soulmates in this universe, and not just romantic ones. We have soulmates off the yin yang, soul family. We're all connected, and some of us were connected more than others. I feel like maybe like we were little clusters in the universe, and some of us were clustered closer together than some of others of us, whatever. That's how I see it. I'm weird, but that's how I see it. But yeah, I feel like it's like when we drop the labels too, that's another thing Spirit wants us to learn, I feel, is to drop the labels, the soulmates, the twin flames. It helps to identify something in a sense, but when you kind of like restrict it to having to be that, and this is what comes with it, this is the signs, this is the stages, when you kind of put all of that together, it confuses you. Because I've seen a lot of people that feel like, oh, this is my twin flame, or maybe this is my twin flame. And I've been through that too. In the beginning, I didn't know about twin flames. I just thought what I was experiencing was a soulmate thing based off of my knowledge, because that's all I had heard was soulmate. So I didn't know nothing about the whole twin flame theory at that time, back then. But I knew that it was something weird that I was experiencing with two people at the time. And yeah, so a lot of people go through that too. And that's because there's a lot of soulmates in the universe. We have a lot, believe it or not. Some of them may be more better for us than others. Someone vibrates higher than the others in comparison to what we want. They may be that best match for us. Yeah, it's possible. So it's better to be open and say, you know what, I have a choice of the whole shoe store, and I don't have to just say I'm only subject to 2 or 3 shoes. I can look at the whole shoe store and say to myself, this one fits just right, this one's okay, this one hurts my feet, this shoe is not really what I want. You have the choice to do that in this universe. You do. And that's for my ladies. But men, if you're into, like, sneakers or something, I guess. But whatever you're into. If you guys are into, like, I don't know what you guys are into. Pottery or something. I don't know. You get to choose the whole store and say to yourself, I like this, or that one's okay, but I can't really see that in my house. Yeah, that might be alright, but I don't really like the color of it. But there's going to be that one thing, that that sneaker, that shoe, whatever, that heel, that purse, whatever. I'm a girl, so I'm just using these type of references. That's going to stand out to you, and you're going to be like, okay, that's for me. I want that one. That's the one that I want. That's how it should work. Give yourself some room to, like, see what you want, and don't just limit yourself to just one thing, because the universe is so vast. And the other thing is, like, we already have a desire in our heart, whether we want to get married, whether we want a loving home, loving husband, wife, whatever. And we try to make someone that we bump into fit that dream that we have, and we settle, even if they don't fit that mold. And it's not because you are too picky. Yeah, you can tell when you're too picky. Like, if he has this, I'm not dating him. And you're right to say what you want. You have every right to say, I only want a redhead or something, instead of whatever, somebody with turquoise hair, whatever. You have a right to say that. You do. But I feel like what Spirit is saying, like, when you come across people, because sometimes we get desperate and we're hopeful and we hope that we can make this person mold into what we want, we're always going to get disappointed. And sometimes we blame the other person, and all we can do is blame ourselves, because we built that expectation around this person to be what we want them to be and to love us in the way that we want them to love us, instead of trusting that Spirit's going to bring you the match of what you've asked for. Okay? That's why I feel like law of attraction is dangerous, and spells are dangerous with trying to get a specific person to love you, to like you, to come to you. Those are dangerous things to use, because it's going to backfire, because you're trying to make someone switch who they are, switch their energy out of their free will to fit yours, and that's not right. You can have faith and hope that that person can be what you're asking for, but you can't force them or make them to be that. And I feel like if they're not willing to change, and if you have to make them become something that you are looking for, that is not the one. That just came to me. Like, if you have to, that means you don't love that person. I was about to say the F word. You don't love that MF, because it's like, if I have to tame this man, and I want him to be faithful only to me and leave this other woman and all this other stuff, and I'm going to wait for him to get his stuff together, but he's still doing what he does, and I want a faithful man, and I want a man that loves me and is monogamous and doesn't disrespect me and blah, blah, blah. He's good with time, and he keeps his promises, and all these other things that you might be having on your list. But you got this other person in your face, and you're trying to mold him into that man that you're trying to manifest. That means you don't really like what you're seeing. You're kind of just forcing yourself because you feel this connection with someone that isn't really it for you. They're not that high vibration thing that you're trying to manifest, that magnet that's really trying to come in. You're trying to force a magnet, and it's repelling. It's like, and you're like, no, I want it. And I don't know if I use repelling in the right word, if that's even a word. But, yeah. It's like it just takes too much energy to do that. Like, I want you to be a horse, but you're a donkey. And the donkey's like, I can't be a horse. I can't be that for you. I'm sorry. You know, I'm a donkey. What do you want me to do? Keep waiting until your freaking horse comes. Yeah, or better yet, you want a unicorn, but you're asking for a horse, or you're keep pulling in this horse and trying to make it a unicorn. And it's like, I'm just a fucking horse. What do you want me to do? I'm not a unicorn. I can't fly. I don't have wings. I don't even have the corn or the horn on my head. What do you want me to be? I can't be that for you. You want this high vibrational being, but you're calling in. I love horses, so I can't, but it just helps the reference, I guess, because unicorns are mystic, and the horses are just like what we see every day, and they're average, I guess you could say, compared to a unicorn. But they're equally important in the universe. That's the thing that I'm saying. But more so, what you want is out there. But you're settling and saying, okay, well, she's here. She doesn't really have what I want. She can't cook. She doesn't want to learn how to cook. She doesn't want to have kids. Well, you know, maybe I can force her to be what I want her to be. And you're going to be disappointed because that's not the one for you. I hope I'm not rambling. I hope that makes sense. I'm almost 50 minutes in, and that's like 10 minutes from an hour talking. So, yeah, if you got through it this far, you guys, I hope that it resonated with you and it made sense. And as always, much love to you guys. Till the next reading. Peace.